Okay, so live streaming was too much. I didn't manage to make it work. By the way, if anyone has any idea about how to get things working, the proper flow to follow to get something working on Mac with OBS, I'm very open to this. So the target was the biggest problem was I was not able to share my screen. So let's start with the first things, which is reminding you what the project is about. So in your phone, and you can access yours at takeout.google.com, you usually have a location history which is stored. I think it's much more rich if you are using Android rather than iOS, but the overall idea is that we could analyze those files to detect when people cross paths, to infer information relevant with epidemic control and how diseases are spreading. So our target here is to analyze this data in order to figure out how to extract meaningful insights. So the first thing that we are going to do today, and after I will review what we have done before, but I will do this now because it takes a bit of time. It is to start our project a bit from ground zero. So the idea here is that I did some testing of solutions to display data on maps. Because I wasn't sure about how to do it, and I knew it could be a big problem, something that led to a lot of time lost, and I wasn't willing to do a live streaming session. That didn't happen anyway. So I wasn't willing to do a live streaming session with 2 full hours of Googling. And because I have installed some packages in my virtual environment, I'm just gonna restart it from zero. So I did rm-rf the to remove my environment, and now I'm gonna recreate it. So I'm recreating it, sorry. So this is just like copying elements. And then I'm gonna do something like this, which should reinstall every single packages that we saved before in requirements.txt. And so, well, oh yeah, of course, I have to activate first, and then I have to do this. This way we are using Python 3, and that's perfect. So, just to review what we have done last time. So the idea was to say that we want to simulate location data instead of using my own, and because I'm a single person, one. Second, I'm not really willing to spread my data everywhere. So the first thing we did was coding this location generator class, which is generating data for a person, like daily trip data, like going to point A to point B to point C, and the intermediate different position in the middle. And this location generation has context, and this context basically is helping. I'm going to close everything here. Is helping to just modelize different things, and to also keep a list of points of interest that's going to be shared between the different location generator in order to represent again what can happen if you are working in real world, where a lot of people are working in the same place, going to the same restaurants and stuff. So you want to have more actions and overlapping of points of interest, which are like places of interest, rather than if you were generating random points of interest every time. So that was session 1. Session 2, we wrote unit tests to test everything. So the idea here is that we can run PyTest this and be sure that everything's working. That's where we stopped last time. And yeah, so today, as detailed, I think, in the README file here, we are gonna work on exporting this fake data to a JSON file and loading them in another part of the project. So just to remember how we want things. So I'm gonna go in takeout. I think this one is the one with the JSON file. I think. Yes, it is. So I'm just gonna call the head function on this /location history.json. And so basically it's like we looked at it in the first session. So this file looked like this. So it has a timestamp, and then it has latitude and longitude stored in kind of exponential notation, which means like times 10 to the power of 7. And then you have some accuracy, which I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know what's the unit. I hope it's in meters. I'm not even sure. It might be in meters, so I'm gonna try to keep it in meters. Maybe like put 100 here, and yeah, it looks like meters. Looks like meters. Okay. So we want to generate this. So here in our location generator, which is this file. No, it's not. This one. So the question here is like, what will I want to do? So I will want to generate fake location data from a date or a timestamp, and we are going to deal with the date because it's got to be more explicit, to another date. So for this, I'm gonna need a function which is be like, we're going to call generate location. We are going to take a start date, end date, and we need to convert dates in. So we are going to use data strings, and we want to convert them to date times. Well, actually, let me check because yeah, days ago. Well, actually, we can do that. That's going to be simpler. Generate location, and we are going to say like start X number days ago. Well, maybe start days ago, which will be an integer, and end days ago, which will be another integer. And then we need also to say how people count. So for how many people we want to generate this. Okay, that is lovely. So for I in range from 0 to people counts, we are going to need a location generator. So from locates dot location generator dot location generator import location generator, which to be used needs another statement, which is about importing context. So as we said last time, our context is a global thing shared between different elements. So create it. Does it take any arguments? No, it doesn't. And then for each thing here, we are just gonna create a generator. So this generator needs a context that we are going to pass here. And then we just say for I, like days ago, that's going to be a variable in range. So from start days ago and days ago plus 1, because the last value here is not returned by the range. And no, I don't need that. So then I have my day data, which is equal to, should I call it day data? I'm thinking about this. Should I? Yeah, I should. No, maybe I can. I don't know how to append dictionaries in Python, so we are going to try this. To append arrays. So if we create an array, which is like this, we already did this test and it works. Okay, so what I want here is to have my person data, which is equal to an empty array, and for everything I'm appending my generator dot get day data and days ago, and we need to list everything here. That is wonderful. Okay, so at the end here we should have for this specific person all of their location data, and then I'm going to create a persist. Use a method called persist person data, which is just going to take person data and maybe name. So here name will be person dash dot plus I, and then I need to implement this function. So my dev person data will need to do a few things. So let's make a list. One, this needs to create the relevant file hierarchy. Two, switch from x, y coordinates to latitude, longitude, because we made something simple. How do you spell latitude? Like this, I guess. Yeah, longitude. Right, JSON file, which should be the easiest. Okay, so let's maybe create actually another entity for this that we are gonna call person data. Well, I like to name my things by services, so it will be persist person data. Okay. So from locx dot location generator dot persist person data import persist person data. Yeah, so we have it here. Good. So first thing here is to create this well, I'm not even sure we need to do this. So what's the file hierarchy we have here? So in my takeout data, which will be like where I expect to have my person name, I have a folder called location history. So I'm gonna just create a variable called target path, which will be equal to, I'm just gonna create a directory here called location data, at the root of our project. Okay. So it's gonna be if we compare from this directory, but I'm gonna do everything from the calling directory. It will be simpler. So it will be current directory slash location data plus, well, the right way to do this is to import OS os.path.join. We need to check how this works. Okay, it's just like text elements as strings. I was wondering if I was using an array, but it's not. So name, yeah, name is there, and name, yeah. And then we set location history, and then we say that inside this there is something called location history.json. So we are just going to do the same thing. It's very convenient to automate process to add the space in the names. That's not a big deal, but that can induce some extra errors. So now I want to create all the missing directories. I'm just going to look at there is a make deals directory, which seems to work. And I think that now I can say target dir directory. I have a dir name somewhere. No, dir path. Was the path.dir name? Okay, from target path. It's just to be sure, we are going to test this. So import os. My path is equal to here hello slash ho ho ho. How are you? That's fine as well. Dot this dot that. And now os dot path dot dir name path, and it should be, yeah, that's perfect. So that's exactly what I want. So now that's my target dir, and now I just do os.makeDirs target dir, and we are good. That should do the first step. So create the relevant file hierarchy here. Okay. So the next, I can remove this documentation here to keep the same approach. So here I'm gonna create a function called get latitude, get GPS coordinates. That's gonna be simpler, coordinates. Okay. From a data point. So here, what I want you to, what need to be noticed is that latitude and longitude are not an orthogonal grid because the Earth is not flat. Actually they are more measuring angles, right? So what we want to know is that if we take a map, at our specific point on the planet, which can be like here, what does latitude and longitude means in terms of kilometers? So what we are going to try to do is to say how much, so distance change on latitude for 1 unit, that's a variable that we are going to define, and distance change on longitude at a specific point on Earth, and our reference point here we are going to check if we are going to like continue to encode it like this, but we are going to type like Luxembourg coordinates, so it's going to be longitude, latitude. I have a lot of lights on my screen, so I'm not sure I didn't make a typo, but now I want Arvisin distance Python. Hoversin, I'm always bad at. Okay, and there's something called that I can install in Python. That's pretty convenient. In Python, through pip, sorry. Cool. So now I have a nice package which doesn't have 1000 dependency. Hover sign. Luxembourg coordinates. Cool. So we saw usually latitude is given first. So I'm going to say this is latitude and this is longitude. And from what I've seen, actually, I should be using a tuple and not an object. Okay. So just checking again if I can easily duplicate tuple in Python. So if A equals 1, 2, B equals 2, 3, A equal C equal A, that's what I wanted to do, and then if I say C 0 equal 1 to 1, okay, so I can't reassign, and then clone tuple. No, I don't need to do this. It's easy. It's easy. I don't need to do this. Okay. So then I'm latitude. So latitude tilted point, which is equal to another tuple with reference point plus 0.1. So I'm slightly changing position and I'm going to measure what distance it's creating. And this, I'm going to call this variable delta. And this I'm gonna have 2 points. This way I'm just gonna making an average for this. I'm gonna do it for latitude and then for longitude. So distances. So that's the distance from point 1 and distance from point 2. So then I'm using this function hoversin. Just hoversin. Yeah, okay, from hoversin import hoversin, so I must have a function called hoversin. Why aren't you working now? No module name hoversin. Did I install in the right place? Yeah, okay, so the virtual environment. So maybe it's a minor conflict. Can I configure this to have a virtual environment there? Project interpreter. I want to add an interpreter. Exactly this one. Okay. This should work now. That's perfect. So hover-seen and hover-seen, then it takes 2 points like this. So it's gonna be reference point, latitude tilted 0.1, and then the second thing will be the same thing with latitude 0.2. I want to work in kilometers because there is no way I'm going to use miles. I have some kind of, I'm trying to have some self-respect there. So this is giving me a distance, and then I'm just gonna, is there an AVG? No. Average? No. Let's do this like that. Okay, gonna do this. Okay, so I know that that 0.1 here is giving me on average this change in kilometers. So maybe I just should name it distance, that's gonna be fine. And so here it means that so here I have like my unit, here is like km dot divided by coordinates unit, okay? So now what I want, instead of y, the letter y, my y coordinates, I want to have latitude. So latitude delta, so I'm gonna just add another parameter, which means like span in kilometers, which was like, so basically we said that we generate our coordinates, our new like interest points and trips and stuff on a grid, okay? And what I want here is like to know which size in kilometers is the grid. So we are going to say about 20 kilometers, okay? And so the latitude of this one will be such that if it's 0, it will be 20 kilometers below, or yeah, below the point, and if it's 100 above that point, or the opposite, doesn't really matter. So my latitude, it will be my reference point latitude, which is the first entry, plus then my data point on x times the span that I want. So wait. This is minus 50, right? Because this is 50 is a center, so at 50 I shouldn't move in any direction. So that's my difference times the span in kilometers that I want. So that's giving me how many kilometers of distance do I want here. Wished distance. Okay. And I need to multiply this times this to divide this by this distance. Yep. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying I'm sure it's working. I'm saying it should. So No, there is a problem here. This must be divided by, I would say, so 100, shouldn't it? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so if x is 0, this is going to be minus 50, okay? Minus 50 divided by 100, it will be like minus 0.5 times 20 kilometers, so it's going to be minus 10. If this is 100, it's going to be the opposite, and if this is 50, it's going to be 50 times the span. So okay, so I have my wish distance on the latitude axis, and this thing actually should be called distance ratio, which is in kilometers divided by coordinates unit. So what I want is coordinates unit. So if I have here, I have which distance in kilometers. It means that if I am doing, so this distance is in kilometers, okay, and I'm multiplying it, I'm dividing it, sorry, by a ratio between kilometers and coordinates unit, which means that this is kind of in terms of metric units, sorry, equivalence to do kilometers times coordinates blah 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 units, don't pay attention to the typo, divided by kilometers. So those two things are nullifying themselves, and so I'm indeed getting coordinate units. So this should be my latitude. Okay, so here I should kind of try to abstract these things in some above things here. So this is Luxembourg. Minor delta, that's just we don't care about this. Then we compute the distance, then we have a ratio here. Oh yeah, we need this comment. This comment is not far from coordinates. Am I spelling this right? Yes, I am. This is far from being obvious. And then the span in kilometer is also a parameter that can leave outside. So my wedge distance here uses my point. So wedge distance latitude, that's fine. And so this is my longitude. Yeah, okay, that's my latitude. That's fine. And here I'm missing just an extra comment. Okay, cool. Now I just need to do the same thing for the longitude. Longitude. This is distance ratio. Sorry for latitude. And this is the distances also for latitude. Okay, so I need to just like duplicate all this here, and this is just like longitude. We are using okay, so these fake points here, they need to use the same longitude here. Here they are still using this, but the delta is now applied to the longitude. Okay, so now we have like our longitude, longitude distances, and longitude distance unit with this, and so we have something. Okay. And so this needs to be longitude longitude. Yeah. So we need to use y now. Okay, and then we can return a point with latitude and longitude. Okay, so that's to be honest, that's very, very hard to understand. But you know what? Let's make a unit test with this. So let's go file, persist, location, data, test, score this. Whoops, it's dot. I can't. Okay, for some reason. Okay, can I close this? No? Okay, well, let's restart. So, okay, I'm gonna just rename this to .py. Just to remember, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna define a new test. It's called like test get GPS coordinates. So I am creating a fake point. Did I got the coordinates of Luxembourg City? Because it's what I want. Let's do this again. Luxembourg City coordinates. I hope I don't have the country. No. Perfectish. Is it Luxembourgish? I don't know. So that's a fake point with an x and a y value. X will be 40 and y will be 10. Okay. So again, this is in a range of like 0 to 100. So it should be much closer to the city vertically speaking than horizontally speaking. Yeah, let's do this like that. Just gonna print here and see what goes out. And I'm gonna assert true. No module name housing. So last time I said I wasn't sure I'm using the right PyTest script, so I'm going to try to find it in my virtual environment because I know I've installed it. Okay, we have a lot of things here. I'm going to assume it's there. I'm going to assume very much it's there because I don't see what else. I'm going to try to do this then. Oh, maybe which PyTest will tell me relevant information. Okay. That's strange. Okay, well then let's do something else. Okay, from PyTest import main, I think we can fake this. Sorry. Just let's look at what we have in this package there. There is a main here. Oh yeah, it was there. Sorry, all this time. People are terrible. Okay, float can't be interpreted as integer. Fine. Line 78. Which one is a float? I think. I think it is move timestamp. So I'm just gonna cast move timestamp to integer here. Okay. Line 78 of location generator. Okay. Function object has no attributes to get GPS coordinates. Well, okay, that's another problem. Okay, so here we are getting GPS coordinates. Let's check them. So this gives us a point somewhere. So we are indeed much more closer, like vertically than that much, so than horizontally. So that's great. Actually, it should be the opposite. Actually, it should be the opposite. No, it's not. No. X is closer to 50, which is our central point. So now let's say instead X is equal to 20 and test again. That's another, like, that's one of the random bugs that we were having before. That's another one of those random bugs, and I'm sorry for that. That doesn't help the reading. Okay. And now it's getting, I'm still same place but a bit more fast. So that's basically working perfectly. And we are lucky with that. So we say point, GPS point. Our GPS point is at the 0 position minus 49, which is the coordinates of Luxembourg. In terms of absolute value, should be inferred to 2. And let's say the same saying for the second coordinates, minus 6. Should be also inferred to 2. And then we have 2 assertions. It works. We need to make them fail at least once. So we are going to say that it must be inferred to 0.001. And does it work? No, it's failed. Okay, that's perfect. Should have slept more. Okay, so we have something that's now is changing our referentials in terms of like geographical coordinates. So this is what we were willing to do. I like to keep my redundant parentheses. Thank you. So I'm gonna call this like JSON. So JSON ready data equals an array for point in person data, JSON point equal JSON point equal first setting timestamp. Yeah, it should be curly brackets. My coordinates there are equal to get GPS coordinates from data point. Yeah, so data point here is just data point. And so JSON point latitude is equal to coordinates. Can I do something like this? It's gonna be gorgeous. I'm pretty sure I can do this and this, and then this. Should work. Not sure? Should work. As a dictionary literal. Oh yeah, not sure I want to do that. I'm fine with this. It's explicit. It's good. So I could also have used the map function to generate the JSON ready data. It's not very important, so I'm not going to use it. And then I have my JSON point. Cool. And then I just need to check like how to write JSON file in Python, and there must be something called a package called Python. Import JSON, yay. So open target path, write attribute, and this is my file handle, and then okay, so the with as handle dot write, and then there is something JSON dot, I think it's dump, just dump, okay, JSON dump of my data, so it's JSON ready data, and Then there is my handle, and actually it's not the handle that's right thing, it's just like this. That's perfect. So we have something here. Just a quick thing. Online whiteboard. Haversine formula. So if one day you're dealing with GPS data, one of the problems you have, if, for example, you want to select, you have a map and you have elements on these maps. So that's the small dots. And you want to select every point, which is like within a 10 kilometers radius from this. Okay, and I'm gonna just make like a red thing so that's our target. Our target is to select every single entity here. Okay. The thing is that you could do SQL statements with distance, like computing the distance from this point to every single point. But it is very complex, and computing the distance to a single point looks a bit like this. So I guess that phi must be some latitude and lambda must be some longitude or something like that. Or maybe not. No, this is not the full. So yeah, because this is using HAV, and so HAV has another here definition. So it's a very, very big formula with a lot of trigonometric function, and so this will very, very fast become a problem. So the way I suggest you to do this, if one day you need to do this, is to basically do exactly what we did here. So you just give a slight nudge on, I'm gonna use maybe green. So you use a slight, you give a slight nudge here, okay, on the longitude and the latitude. So you can do it both direction or one direction. I recommend both direction and compute the average. So basically this way you know, like, if you move of 1 point of longitude in that direction, it matches a change of x kilometers. And so basically you just make a ratio and you're like, okay, so and you can have a safety margin. And so you can say, okay, I know that 1 point of longitude change here equals to 12 kilometers, but I want my radius to be 6, so I'm gonna like just do the 0.5 things. And so you have a maximum longitude, a minimum longitude, a maximum latitude, and a minimum latitude. And so you can do a first SQL select that looks like this. Maybe slightly bigger than this, because this approach is not super precise. And then for every of those points, you can either like pick them because they are in your square, or you can just compute what's the actual distance between your target point and those points to be sure that you are within the circle. And so you exclude all the other points outside. So yeah, now we have this, and we said that we want to have something here that generates location. That should do it. So we are going to define a self, sorry, I'm never remembering how we do that. So if self Python, sorry, if self main. Okay, so we do it like this. So this small line here is just checking if there is a name declared when you execute something, which is equal to __ main, which means that this file would be the main file. So this if would be only run when this specific file is called. So I'm gonna just outcode things. So I want this to start 10 days ago, and to end 3 days ago, and to generate for only one person. And then we're here, so we just do Python src locakes, and we call this first file. And here we don't see anything, which is about a good thing. And we see that we have a directory called location data that doesn't have anything inside it, which means that something has failed somewhere. So we need to debug this. Oh yeah, it's people count plus 1, because otherwise we don't have the right thing. So okay, now do I have anything here? No, still not. So I'm gonna have those comments again. You need to call the right file. That's pro user pro. Yeah, I think it always helps. Yeah, so actually one is like this last value is included, so I don't need to add one here. Okay, so here I have a folder called location histories. That looks a lot like what I expect from my things. And here I see that I have 2 bytes here. So this file here, it's empty. Almost sure. Or maybe not. Oh, maybe, oh, no. I know what happened. I only have 2 characters inside it, which are 2 curly brackets. Am I good? Yeah, it's not curly brackets. So something went wrong. So first I'm gonna check that I have indeed generated some person data. Okay. So I have something here called getData, which seems to work. So this should work. Always should work until you understand why it doesn't. I shouldn't look at this. It's not what the problem is. Sorry, I'm tired of it. The second loop should be called more often, and it's not. So start days ago. Oh yeah, it should be the up. No, it should not. So it needs to start 10 days ago. So yeah. Of course. I should generate first from 10 days ago. Yeah. Then, okay. And so my steps should be in terms of -1. Now it works. Yeah, of course. Okay. Good. That's great. Now it seems to be working. It's a lovely thing. That is a lovely thing. So we wrote something that actually works. We only have a small problem, which is not how this looks. So this should be just a location, and JSON ready data here is just locations, and here if I go there, I see that my first field actually it's an object, and there are first stuff called locations. So JSON data equals locations yeah, it's a dictionary again. Sorry, that's too much PHP and not enough brain. Let's try again. So when I do this JSON thing, I can choose to have something that looks better. Pretty, yeah, I want something pretty. Yeah, make it pretty. Let's try this. That looks great. That looks great. So now we notice that the timestamp is in milliseconds. So we need to have a timestamp in milliseconds. So it's actually going to be called like this, uppercase M, time 1000. And here actually I need to be smarter than that. So this is GPS coordinates. So it's latitude E7 and longitude E7. E7 equals GPS coordinates, first element times 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 7. Let's try again. Okay, so I need to round this, obviously, but it looks like the same amount of integers. and like it looks also that those figures are about the same size. Okay. Cool. Now, as you can tell, I have mixed up longitude and latitude, obviously, because this needs to be number 2, and we are good. That is a lovely thing. So we have something, we are going to remove this. We have something that generates us a few data elements. So I'm going to accept, so start days ago equal. So if import sys, so if sys.rv, the length of this is different from 4. I think there's a name of the program here. I'm not sure, but in any case, I'm going to print sys.argv. Print otherwise usage. What's the yeah, okay, this 10 3, and let's generate for 40 people without commas. Oh yeah, we need this. Otherwise, we know that start days ago and days ago people count. This is equal to sys.rv. Oh yeah, and I don't want this. Can I do this in Python? I'm not sure. Okay, so a here is equal to this, so I'm gonna do c b equals a. Can I do this? C b, that's brilliant. I love this. Shall we call this again? Yeah. Oh, not enough values to unpack, because if this 6, if, oh yeah. Sys.exit 1, because we have an error, and not enough values. Okay, now I can copy this. Sure, I'm going to cast everything to integer. Ta-da! So we have the data of about 40 people over a period of 7 days. Isn't it lovely? It is lovely, I know you love it. So now we are going to try to visualize this on a map. So that's why I did my first initial research and things. So did we do this? Yes. Did we do this? Yes. Did we do this? Yes. I have my small to-do list. The light looks brilliant here with the like coming from the window over there. It feels like I'm a saint, you know, like Renaissance painting. can I put this in full screen just for everybody to know? I can't. Can I? Let me check. Can I? Yeah, can I play with this for a second? Sorry, I'm feeling creative now. This is Renaissance, isn't it? Okay, so that was my small victory against the JSON file. I needed to celebrate. Looking like a Renaissance guy was a good idea. I'm sorry, I realized that my command line stuff were a bit hidden, and I hope that the code was not that much. That's cool. So maybe I'm gonna just keep this face here. Cool. Okay, so now we need to visualize a map. And so now we start with what you could have as your data and maybe the data of someone else. So the first thing we are going to do is to pip install Jupyter, which is a tool to run Python notebooks. After that, we also are going to look for interactive map Jupyter notebook. Yeah, that's perfect. And this is the article I used, which used something called IPy leaflets and another thing called iWidgets, like this. So we are then gonna install these two things. And before we move onwards, we don't forget one thing, which is to commit our changes. So there was a minor change in the description over there. That's okay. Some typing because we were actually not running our tests with Python 3. That's okay. Our location generator got updated with some extra content, and we have a new file, a few new files. So first thing, we are just gonna ignore location data, and that's gonna be better. We are also going to add everything in src, which is this, and we are gonna rename this because we have a typo. No, not available right now, that's fine. I just want to rename it. How can I do this? Okay, fine. Okay. Sorry, I saw the file name was wrong. Cool. So now I am checking again, and I am committing everything. So JSON export, but it's JSON export. There is nothing extra, and we can push. So if someone watches this repo, which is not the case as far as I know, we have the solution. We got you covered. You can have the code. And now we are gonna also pip freeze things. Git def. So Jupyter added a lot of dependencies. That's the tax of the short night. So update dependencies, git push again. And now we do Jupyter notebook. Cool. And so here we are just going to create a new notebook that's going to be called like location analysis. I have absolutely no idea about how I'm supposed to share this notebook through Git after, but that's going to be fine. And we are going to follow this quick tutorial just to be sure that we can display something. So what we want here is print one, display a map, 2, display a slider enabling navigation between time stamps. All good? Yeah, all good. Yeah, that's it. Display a marker. So that's what we want to do. The first thing though is that here it shows us how to actually have a widget. So we are going to do it, and then we will just refactor everything after. So if you don't say slider here enables the thing to appear in the Jupyter. If this element there is not present, or if it's not the last element, no slider will appear. So that's lovely. It is a good syntax here. Let's see which is where the problem is. Okay, so now we have a slider. And this slider actually is synchronized across the different instances that you can find. For example, that works. So these things are synchronized. That's a very good thing. Now I want to display a map. And from what you can tell here, it's not very complicated. So I'm gonna just import map. From IPylif. Do you have a completion there? Yeah. Import map. Map. My map is equal to map center. I need Luxembourg city coordinates, and I know they are there. I'm calling this reference point as well. We could parameterize everything. We don't care much. Okay, and what happens if I do that? Just this? Well, quite a bit. That's cool. We have something. We already have something. That's great. That's super, super cool. Here I see a marker, but it moves too fast, so I'm gonna Google here. Gonna keep this IPyleaflet marker. That looks great. I'm so happy to have that. Thanks, OpenStreetMap. Thanks, IPyleaflet. That is great. Okay. Then I'm gonna add a marker. Maybe I can add it here. There is no reason I couldn't. Add the reference point. Yeah, why not? Reference point. I don't want it to be draggable. And ta-da! Yeah, sure. What does display map does? I don't know, but we are gonna remove this and check. Yeah, okay, it works. Perfect. It's beautiful. So now I want to charge my JSON data. into something. So I'm gonna create a new package here called location loader, and yeah, location loader will be fine. So it's gonna load the location. The path is gonna be hard coded. So the path here is gonna be location data slash. Can I able to completion there? No, I can't. I was about to say fuck. I didn't say it. That's great. Cool. Load locations. That's the path I want to load. Import JSON. JSON load. Okay, I have an intuition that it loads. Okay, that's a FP stands for file pointer. So then I just need to have an handle, open, target path for reading, with handle. Did I do that previously? Did I? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Are we checking for errors? Absolutely not. I don't know who told you that, but that was a mistake. So we are just gonna check now if we can actually not loop changed. Oh yeah, forget it. Bye bye. Here we are just gonna put it here. So we want to import locax.this, and from this we want to import loader dot import this. And does it work? Then I'm gonna just do this, print load locations. Yeah, does it work? Tell me it works. Yeah, now I just need to call it. It should display a lot of points. File not found. That's lovely. So there is no file here. Why? Okay. Import os print. Yeah, I can do this. Import os. Yeah. Print like os dot current working directory. Can I have that? Pass maybe? Maybe, is it system? It can be system. Pretty sure I remember this from some old Python code. So I'm trying to print like in which directory my code is actually running. No, print current working directory Python. Yeah, OS gets you. Okay, that's okay. Print. I'm just gonna put this here. os.get CWD up. Okay. Why doesn't it work then? Oh, this backslash is a terrible thing. Are you ready? Because it's gonna work, it's gonna be impressive. Maybe not. Oh yeah, I need to reload. Can I do this? Yeah, sure, restart. And then I can do this. Run, 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 run. Yes, it works. So now, these are my locations. Locations, mean timestamp equals locations. First one, timestamp. I don't care if it's in milliseconds or not, so I'm just like gonna name it like this. And max timestamp equal locations -1. The same thing. Okay. So then I should be able to see the two of them. Yeah, and max. Let's see what it says. Cool. So now I have my two timestamps. So now what I would like is for my slider to be between these two values. Actually, to be honest, let's be honest, because sometimes it's important. It's often important. I'm just gonna put this in real timestamp stuff. That's gonna be cleaner. That's not what I was looking for. That's there. In slider, so I have a min and I have a max and I have a step. Perfect. So it says min is equal to min timestamp max timestamp. Now it should work. Yes, it works great. Now I need a function that gives me my current location. Get, oh, I can encode it here. Def get location at timestamp. So here we can have some binary search because those locations are sorted by timestamp, but we will maybe implement it later because I think for performance it may actually be really useful because we have a lot of data points. Actually, I'm curious to check ls. Okay, ls alh. It's not that small actually, right? So if I count the number of lines, which works like this in Unix systems, okay, 9,000, so it's 9,538 divided by maybe 6 lines per location. So we have 1,500 locations for only a handful of days. So, okay, so that's my timestamp in milliseconds. And those are my locations. We may wrap everything in something cleaner after, but we already have something. So here just do for location in locations, so we iterate on everything, and if timestamp in milliseconds is less, actually I can do this, timestamp, and here timestamp ms is equal timestamp times 1000. So if this is inferior, it means that we have passed this. So we initialize the value at last location. If this is inferior to timestamp ms, it means that we have passed it. So we return the last location. All right? Otherwise, if we never, and we update, of course, the last location to be the current location we're working on. Otherwise, we return anyway the last location. And so actually we could just break here, which interrupts the execution of this for loop, and we'll return this statement anyway. Well, it's cleaner to return. Sorry, that's my engineering mind that gets a bit confused sometimes. So now, at a specific timestamp, we are able to retrieve a location. To be honest, it's better to work with a distant location. So again, we may update this file to have things working, but I'm gonna do break. So then I have the relevant location here, and here I'm gonna create a clean location here, which will be equal to an object with a proper latitude and longitude. So latitude longitude, last location, latitude E7, longitude E7 times, is it, no, oh, wait, are we good? No, we're not. So oh yeah, work please. Okay, cool, we have something working here. Clean location, great. So that should return us a clean location that we can then use to update our marker. So there's here we have some stuff with widget lists that have events here. So it's actually any widget has some observed thing and a callable. Let's try to do this. I'm gonna put this here and I'm gonna put this here. So what I want here for my slider is to be observed. And I'm going to define another thing, which is update on slider change. This is a function that receives change event. So this change event here receive a thing called an owner, and this owner here is the slider, is the slider itself. How do I know that? Actually, extremely easily, because I've spent a few minutes looking for this earlier. Otherwise, I've just been hacking around and printing things. But actually, when you move this, it's hard to get something printed, depending on where you are. So I'm going to try to here change event.owner. This is a reference to my slider. And this owner, this slider has a value. So this is my slider value, which is actually a timestamp. Then I'm gonna get the location at the specific timestamp, and this location is going to be injected in the marker, and I think it's marker dot, and I forgot that. I think it's center, I'm not sure. Well, I'm going to update it like this and see if it works. So in here, I'm just going to provide this callback. So the small problem we have here is that we won't be able to see everything on our screen. So we need to move this huge thing actually from here to be maybe here. And maybe I can do this, display slider and map, if I'm lucky. If I'm not, we will see. How can I delete this? I know I can delete this cell. It's not this. Insert view. Delete cells. Yeah. Cell. Delete cells. Cell. Delete cells, and I have everything here. So okay, so now we run this and we hope, okay, so we have a problem. Wir haben ein kleines Problem. Cannot import. Warum? Warum? One of the cool thing would be maybe to restart our kernel, because maybe there is already an item defined with this name, and that's why we have a problem. So, just to recapitulate, we have already displayed the map, we have displayed a marker, and we have a slider, and we wanted to navigate between timestamps. That's what we are working on right now. We don't need to display this one anymore. And this we can just move it here. So basically we have right now only a single element. Edit, view, okay, delete cells, edit, delete cells, and now I can run this. It doesn't work. Yeah, of course. Thank you, Einstein. Nice try. Okay. Okay, something here is broken and I don't know what. Handle a state request. Okay, every time I'm moving this thing, it's calling the same function and raising the same error. So I need to, missing one required, oh yeah, I missed the locations. I need to provide the location here. So here I'm going to say that this function needs to access location, no, locations, this is, no, both values are read-only, so that's okay. Timestamp locations. Run again. Hope this will work. This time it's just, it doesn't. For some reason. IPy leaflet, update, position. Okay. Okay, maybe this thing I'm already reading has the answer. Oh yeah, this actually needs a name. I don't know why, but maybe if we add this, could fix it. I don't know. I don't think so, but when in doubt, you know, try it. Let's call it timestamp change and see what happens. Okay. Restart and clear output. Run again. No, it doesn't work. Or does it? How am I sure? I am not. Or maybe it's just I'm updating marker position IPy leaflets. Hello. Okay, it's loading a PDF. Documentation is PDF, the best you can hope for your life. Not there. Okay. Okay, so it should work. Doesn't, but it should. So I've seen something that you can like include something else called an output here, and then you just I don't know how you link these things together, but you can create an output object that actually enables you to display some output. Yeah, until you don't. Okay. Okay. Doesn't work. This should work. This should work. So since we know this, we are just gonna try to do something stupid like this. Actually, I know that exceptions are displaying things, so I can just try to do raise this and see if something fails. No, no output. Fine. That looks like what I want. Output capture. Yeah, that's what I want. That should work. Well, I'm gonna give a +1 if this guy's right. I'm pretty sure he is. It looks like he is. Just to be sure, I'm gonna create this first here. Okay, so now I'm printing something, so I should be able to see something. I'm rerunning this. I still don't see anything, but maybe it's again restart and clear output. No, it doesn't work. Can I display the output later, maybe? No, doesn't seem I can. But oh, it means that nothing is called here. Can it be? I don't know. Absolutely no clue. Just trying to have different display calls, but I think it's exactly the same. So yeah, it shouldn't change much. Oh. Oh. I had something working earlier, just so you know. It's just that right now I don't. I'm just checking if I didn't keep the thing from earlier. I think I didn't, which will not help me solve this problem, but I want to solve this problem. So let's check our friend over there. Not this. Okay. Here, someone somewhere is updating a marker. Not there. Yeah, okay, he mentions markers. He has a marker cluster here. Okay, fine. No, it's just showing a single marker here. Split map, we don't care. Yeah. Oh, see, so here is just linking values on the map, which is pretty cool. I have to admit, this is really cool. Maybe the link function with widgets can help us. Link ipy widgets. So link. Whoa, link. Linking widgets. Okay. So here are with hard-coded value, but what I would like to have is kind of callback. Observe. I did have some bug earlier, which were when I was kind of not knowing that my owner here had the value, so I was doing something like this. Yeah, something like this. It was failing miserably, so I'm just restarting again, and I'm just rerunning this. And okay, so if this is not crashing, this should crash a lot. And now it's not crashing at all. Why? 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 Can I see the error output? View. Cell. Not there. Yeah. Yes. this should crash, and this doesn't crash. Why? Okay, and it's getting really a pain. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah. Okay. So okay. Instead of owner, I have new dot value. I'm going to go for this. So change event. Is it? Oh, it's a dictionary. Maybe that's the problem. Wow. I really hope it's not this. Let's try again. Let's try again. And if I print here my change event, will I still see something? Because it will really cheer me up. Hello. Or not. I don't know. Time to try. Time to try. Okay. Yes, seeing things. It's still the old one. Yeah, because I need to still call the right one. So on slider change. Yeah, okay. Stop, restart, rerun. Yes, I love those errors. That's the best thing that ever happened in my life. That's a bit extensive idea of thing. So where is this error? In slider object is not subscriptable. So yeah, okay. Okay. So I guess I should do this. Dot new dot value. Does this work? This time getting like debug information there. Okay. Dict has no attribute value. Huh. Can I see the print before anything? Yeah. Okay. So, new value. Kidding me or what? Oh yeah, because it's now it's a dict value. Okay. Let's try again. Key error value. Are you kidding me? Int object is not subscriptable. So you mean that if I just do this, I should get something? Say so? Unsupported operand. Yeah. So this is a dict. Okay. Timestamp is a dict. Fine. And this dict has a value. So why didn't this work? Should I? Or maybe I was doing something unexpected. Yeah, okay. So int object is not subscriptable. Okay, and in this case, what's the value of timestamp? Oh, here, new. Is it me getting crazy? Okay. Test if dict Python. Maybe this object can have multiple type because it's so much more elegant. Yeah, okay, if is instance, let's do that. So, if timestamp, sorry, is instance timestamp dict, then timestamp equals timestamp value. Good. Now we stop this and we restart. Lovely. Okay. So here I am printing an actual value, and then I'm getting an error somewhere, key error value. So that time, what's the value of this? New here is empty for some reason. Okay. If this, then we don't do it. If we don't have a value, we don't do anything. We can try again. Great, we don't have any more errors, but nothing is moving. But that's fine, because now we change the marker that's centered to be the location we've just found. And maybe we'll also print this location, because it's kind of relevant and important to see if things are behaving like we wish they do. So nothing is moving, so we have a problem. Why is nothing moving? Maybe these coordinates are not at all in Luxembourg, are exactly at the same spot, more or less. So we just like pick them, we put them here. It's not at all in the middle of the city, so this thing should move. So now we do IPy leaflets marker properties. Marker attribute its location. That's why it's gonna work. You know it's gonna work. It's gonna work very soon. Are you ready? It's gonna be impressive because I'm pretty sure now it works. Oh yeah, well, pretty sure not. Oh, okay, fine. Fine. We are just gonna edit this function so it returns an array. Maybe we'll work with a tuple. We don't care. The thing says array, so let's be obedient and just give it an array. And let's try again. Yeah, okay. So we see it changing a lot. Like people seem to be blinking. Or just that the trip time is too short. I don't know. I would need a bigger slider. Can I make bigger slider somewhere? IPy widgets, int slider size. Maybe IPy widget slider timestamp. Maybe they have something for timestamp. Oh, that works with timestamp. It could be a date or I don't know. Don't know what this is, but it doesn't look like it. With a date slider. That's gonna be that looks like way too much of code for what I want. So here I don't see much. Larger widget, IPy widgets. Not largest, larger. No. I can do another thing, which may prove easier to test our little program. This thing is called removing the location data that we have right now, regenerating it, but not for that many days, just for maybe 1 day. Oh yeah. Great, and now if we try again, we may have a bit of luck. Wow, looks crazy. Okay, so I see that I have intermediate points, which actually are too the changes, like location changes, are happening way too fast. Way too fast. Or do they? Not even sure. That's pretty nice. Okay, how long have we been recording for now? For 2 hours. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we have something pretty cool here. We have something that's showing one person moving across the map with unit tests and everything, so we can update things if we need. That's pretty nice. Now the last thing would be, and I'm just going to look briefly, but how to commit Jupyter notebook to GitHub, like how to git, well, I don't know, how to version control Jupyter notebooks. It feels like it's smart. Is it a lot? Is it a lot? Human readable. Well, they're not really human readable, but yeah, if you say so. Yeah, okay. I want to avoid this built-in solution. Clear output manually. Wow. Okay, why not? Well, we are gonna do this and look at how it looks. Okay, so what did I say? Restart and clear output. Okay, file, save and checkpoint. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. File, revert to checkpoint. Can I erase this checkpoint? No clue. Okay, let's look at how it looks and work from this. So we are just gonna edit this file and look if it's a decent way to location. Okay, so my code there. Okay, it's not perfect, but it looks exactly like what we need. That's nice. We can commit this. Can I just rename it to have something that's more easy on my nerves? Because that would be much more clean. Yeah, lovely. Okay. So this needs to be added. This needs to be put in the get in your file. Okay, so last thing, will be to say, so the current URL for this session is not known because like it doesn't, YouTube didn't work. And then fourth session might be the last, will be about visualizing multiple person data on our map. Maybe a bit of refactoring to keep things maintainable. Yes. And also algorithmic, like procedural, I don't know, analysis. Yeah, algorithmic analysis of people crossing path. So like we will iterate on every like timestamp and see where people are and say, okay, they cross paths, and maybe we may also model some kind of disease spreading. For example, like we say that this person had the disease, so we want to know like in which order like the disease could have spread from them to the others. That could be interesting, and maybe from this we could change the colors of the different markers. That would be nice. And it will be likely, let me check my agenda, likely next Sunday. I don't know why I'm checking my agenda. There's nothing happening. Everybody is in quarantine. It's Easter. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna eat chocolate during this. So it's the 12th. Likely 12th of April. Again, maybe on Twitch this time. I will look for something that actually works and doesn't just make me lose my time. Yeah. Sorry, I used git cam here. It's just a small alias in my shell that does this. That's it. That's the same thing. Details next session. Detail next session. Objectives. Git push. Okay, so in the meantime, I hope that this was interesting, and I hope that someone may watch it after I've recorded it. And I wish you a great day, night, or whatever time of your life you are right now. And let's try to finish this in a week.